do that. We got to get this message out. Chuck said, time is of the essence. We need to be like a Marine. You know, we need to be, you know, a Marine goes out on a mission. You know what he does? He completes the mission. No ifs, ands, and buts. All of us, we go to all these seminars and read the books and the videos and everything. We need to stop listening to chiropractic. Got to start living it. Stop listening to it and start living it. Got dreams? Live beyond the words. Take action. Make your fears your vision. Other way around. Make your vision bigger than your fears. You have a vision, make it real bigger. Real bigger. Like Eric would say, real cool. Real cool. Take the chains, the ball off your feet, people. It's just a matter of getting out there and doing what you're trained to do. If people are functioning better, anything they take from the outside in is already produced within their body. If they're functioning properly. How do you get rid of the poison? Remove the interference from the nervous system. I look back in all these years, and I remember, and Rose will remember this too, maybe some of you other guys back there, you older folks. Bill Werner, chiropractor in New York City, filled up Madison Square Garden with 17,000 people, lay people. One little chiropractor. I say, look, he was shorter than me. I remember him. But one chiropractor, he filled up Madison Square Garden with 17,000 people. Where do we get off saying there's not enough new patients out there? Did we come here to get some CE credits, or maybe we'll get some new patients when we go back because we were at a seminar this weekend? Or did you come over here this weekend? Become the master of your universe within you. Wake up the sleeper. And I think of the Bain brothers up in a little small town in Derry, New Hampshire, taking care of 10 to 12,000 visits per week. I went to visit when I got out of school. And I get there, I figure they open up at 9, I'll get there at 8 o'clock. I got there at 8 o'clock, there must have been about 50 cars in the parking lot already. Bill pulls up with his brothers, he sees me, he says, "Hey, I'm glad you made it." The first thing out of his mouth was, "You know how to x-ray cervical spines?" I was just out of school. I said, "Yeah, sure, I can x-ray." He says, "Well, he was a kibitzer." He said, "I got a few patients coming all the way down from Maine. Will you x-ray them for me?" I said, "Sure." He said, "Oh, here they are right now. 2 bus loads, 80 people. I x-rayed from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock at night, x-rayed cervical spines. 80 patients, 80 new patients. And they see thousands of people a day." Then I think when I went down to visit Sid, when I was just going to get out of school, he treated me like a king. And then I got out of school, he came up to visit my office, and he wanted to see 42nd Street and Broadway. Finished on Saturday in my office with him. Went to New York City, took him to 42nd and Broadway. And you know, if you've ever been in New York City, you know these people selling baseball hats and T-shirts and watches and on the corners and everything, evangelists on the corner. And we're walking from 42nd Street up to 43rd Street. He goes, "Boy, I'm going to teach you something. And you go remember this. gets on the corner. He starts giving a chiropractic lecture. Before you know it, there's 30, 40 people listening to him, surrounding him. Cop comes along and says, buddy, you got a permit for this? He says, no, just move along. And he talking chiropractic, and they followed him. He says, boy, you get it? And I got it. What am I trying to say to you? There's a man strange in a town they don't even know about, especially New York City, and he starts giving a message of chiropractic that people don't even know, and they're flocking him. What are you doing? Sitting back, crying, not enough patients, not enough new patients. They're out there. We only take care of 10%. The population is 90% out there. You got to go 3.5 miles, north, east, south, and west from your practice. Go around. Get these people. Another family for chiropractic. I think of a good friend of mine, I'm laughing as I'm saying that. Dick Plummer, who just passed away. Dick used to do the health classes for me in the early days. But Dick was a plumber, worked for butcher, worked for Grand Union. You know, we used to go down there on Saturday when he got out of work at 12 noon, and we go walking around the parking lot, okay, looking for MD plates or nurses plates. And we find one, and we get the bumper sticker and put on their bumper, another family for chiropractic. I know, it wasn't nice. But they're not nice to us today. I don't feel bad about it. They ridiculed me. And I think of Reggie, my biggest mentor. I was practicing Tapan at the time before I moved my practice into Reggie's. And I was giving a health class, and Reggie was going to be the speaker. So I get 12 people in there. You know, it's hard giving lectures and getting maybe 3 or 4 people show up. So I had 12 people in there. And they were probably all the parents of the kids that Irene Gold sent into my office because she worked as a school nurse down the corner from my office. And they're in there, and I got 12 people. I said, wow, he's going to be glad. 12 people. He comes in at 6:45. He goes, where's the people? I said, Reggie, I got 12 people here. You want me to stay? Go out there and get me some more. Now, here by 7 o'clock, I'm gone. Now, my town, you walk outside the door, there's a luncheonette that's closed, there's a delicatessen that's closed, the bank is closed, the barber shop is closed, the only thing that's open is the bar. I went to the bar, and I tell all these guys my story. Some of them had no teeth, some of them had the wallet with the chain on it. And I tell them my dilemma. Doc, we're with you. Brought in 18 more people. Reggie gave the lecture to 30 people, 21 became patients. See, he wanted to talk to people and get the message out. We need to get off our butts and do the same thing, people. Walk with certainty. Talk your purpose and principle all the time. All the time. People are sick and dying out there, and they don't know why. They don't know why, these poor people. The Bible tells us, my people perish from a lack of knowledge. With knowledge comes responsibility. We have that knowledge. Structure determines function. Staying healthy is hard. Dying is easy. We're the sickest nation in the world, living the longest in bad health. Don't you feel responsible for that? I do. Sickest nation in the world, living the longest in bad health. 60% of all bankruptcies in this country are medical bankruptcies. How do I know that? It was written up in the Journal of the American Medical Association, written up in Harvard University Medical School, Department of Public Health publication. 60% all bankruptcies, medical bankruptcies, and 85% of the people had insurance at the time. Do you feel responsible for that? I do. I really do. You need to not sell care, people. You got a patient in with sciatica. Patient in with sciatica. Gets better in 5 weeks. They're gone. Don't sell care. Sell the principle. The principle lasts forever. Bill gave me the 5 sign. Skip page 3, go to page 4. I was giving a talk in Canada a few years back, maybe 10, 12 years back, and I went upstairs to go to the meeting, and there was 2 rooms, one here and one here. This one, and that one over there just said meeting with an arrow. This one said doctor's meeting. So I went in there to the doctor's room. I'm standing in the back, and it's Dr. Marinas, which is a medical historian. He says, you take the philosophy away from the chiropractor, you take away his uniqueness, and you also take away his future. Take care of the philosophy you take away from him, you take care of his future and his uniqueness. If the hospital up the corner starts giving adjustments, what more do you have if you don't have your philosophy? We need to stop being medical wannabes. Imagine being a watered-down chiropractor and a watered-down medical man at the same time. We need to stop being medical wannabes. We need to preach our difference. What's our difference? Anybody? What's our difference? Innate intelligence, is that different than medicine? How about the adjustment? Is that different than medicine? Teach them about the vertebral subluxation. Let's preach our difference. Let's get away from theirs. Because we start preaching our difference, we'll start talking the talk and walking the walk and getting people in, especially the kids. You've got to get out front and lead. Don't stand where they are. Get out front and lead them. If a patient says, can you help me? You say, yes, I can help you if you have a vertebral subluxation. The above, down, inside, out theory gives us no boundaries to take care of all men's ills as long as we stick to the principle. I know Bill gave me the 5, but I'm going over. Yeah, you owe me. I usually finish early all the time. All right, I'm going to tell my favorite story.
Tell your story and then get off. Do what you want to do, Ernie. I love you, brother.
I know that. I skipped a page for you anyway, so don't worry about it. All right. This young lad in Texas goes into this department store to get a job. Who interviews him but the owner of the company? He interviews him. He likes this young man. He says, you start tomorrow. It's Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. You start tomorrow, Friday. 9 o'clock. When we close at 5, I'll be over to check and see how you did. Friday comes, the boy goes to work, closes at 5. The old man comes in, and he says, how'd you do today? How many people did you see? He says, 1. He says, 1? My other people here see 30, 40 people a day. How much did you make? He said, $105,000. He says, how'd you do that? He says, well, this man came in. You remember, it's Friday. This man came in, and I sold him a small fishing tackle. Then I figured maybe he wants to go for big fish. I sold him a big fishing tackle. I figured if he's going to go for big fish, he's going to need a boat. So I took him down to the boat department and bought a 28-foot bay liner. Now he's got a boat. I figured he needs a trailer to put it on. So I sold him a trailer. And then he needs something to pull this thing with. So I took him to the car department and had him buy a Cadillac Escalade so he can pull the boat. The man said, this guy came in for a small fishing tackle and you sold him all that? He says, heck no, it was Friday night. He came in for a box of tampons for his girlfriend, and I told him, your weekend is shot, you might as well go fishing. You see, you got to tell the people what they need, not what they want. Tell them what they need. We all have miracles, big and small. We know about those big ones. They come by a little bit. But think, like Tim Warner said, you touch the people. The little miracles that you don't see. Little Janie gets adjusted at 3 years of age and doesn't get cervix cancer when she's 40. And little Johnny comes in 6 years old and gets adjusted and doesn't get prostate cancer when he's 50. And then you got grandma with her arthritis and pain and gets adjusted and the pain goes away. Perceive the majesty of universal intelligence. Perceive the wisdom of innate intelligence. Perceive the damage of the vertebral subluxation and the beauty of a chiropractic adjustment. Realize that. You make the lame walk, the blind see, the dumb understand, and the deaf hear. No pun intended. I'm just going to close with, years ago, and I'm going to say this not to impress you, but to impress upon you, okay? Years ago, I accepted the principle in full force. No ifs, ands, or buts. Let this above, down, inside out, innate flow through me. As soon as I did that, Providence moved in. My life changed completely. Patients came in by the droves. They brought their families, their kids. They referred people. They paid cash. They couldn't wait to come to the office because they were feeling the love from above, down, inside out that was promoting from me to them. And I say that to impress upon you, grab it full force, this thing we call innate, this principle, and let it flow through you. We all have a verse. We need to make that verse a prayer to the universe. I want to close with one thing. My dear mentor, Reggie, passed away a few years back. And my last words with Reggie was, he said, Ernie, if you're not out to change the world, your whole life's been a waste of time with lost opportunities. Promise me one thing. Keep the principle alive. I intend to do it, and I hope you do too. I love you. Thank you.